So good morning students. I welcome you all in this new video. In this lecture, I am going to start the fourth chapter of class 12th physics, that is moving charges and magnetism. It is a very important chapter. So let us firstly understand the concept behind the magnetic field, that how it was originated, how it was introduced. So a scientist named Danish physicist Hans Christian Ørsted. There was a scientist from Danish, that is Hans Christian Ørsted. One day he was performing an experiment in his lab. He observed that when a current flows in a wire, then the compass needle kept near the current starts deflecting. Initially, he was very surprised that how is it happening, and he was not able to figure it out that what is the phenomena working here. But soon he came to the conclusion that the currents or charges in motion produce magnetic field that is totally different than that of the electric field. As we know that static charges produce electric field, but if that static charge starts moving with a velocity v, then in addition to electric field, it also produces another field, that is magnetic field. The currents also produce magnetic field. So let us understand the magnetic field. Just as the static charges produce an electric field, the currents or moving charges produce in addition a magnetic field. Magnetic field is denoted by B vector. Very important. So you have to remember 2 points. You have to keep in your mind these 2 points, that currents produce a magnetic field and charges in motion produce magnetic field in addition to electric field. Means if charges are in motion, they will produce electric field as well as magnetic field. But the currents produce only magnetic field. The magnetic field is denoted by B vector. It is a vector quantity, very important. Same like that of electric field. It follows principle of superposition. This we already have discussed. This superposition principle we have already discussed in our first chapter. So these are the basic things which you have to keep in your mind for the magnetic field. So now let us move on to another topic, that is magnetic force. Now we know that what is magnetic field. We know that the currents or the charges in motion produce magnetic field. Now what this magnetic field does further? So further, if a charge is moving in this magnetic field, which is produced by currents or the charges in motion, then this charge feels a force in presence of this magnetic field, or this magnetic field exerts a force on the moving charges. That force is known as magnetic force. Same as electric field exerts a force on stationary charges or moving charges, same like that the magnetic field also exerts a force on moving charges. Here the term moving charges is important. If charge is not moving, then magnetic field will not exert a force on a static charge. Magnetic field exerts force only on a moving charges, but electric field exerts force whether the charge is moving or not moving, doesn't matter. But in case of magnetic field, the magnetic field exerts force only on moving charges. So suppose there is a point charge q moving with a velocity v in presence of magnetic field B. Then the force on the charge q is magnetic force. Let we have a charge q which is moving with a velocity v in presence of a magnetic field B. So the force exerted by the magnetic field on this moving charge which is moving with a velocity v will be given as F v vector is equal to q v cross v. If I open this cross product, then I will get q, magnitude of this velocity, magnitude of this magnetic field, and sine theta n cap. Here theta is the angle between v and b. V means velocity of the charge and b means magnetic field. So the theta is the angle between this V and B. So this amount of force is exerted by the magnetic field on a moving charge. Now, from this formula of magnetic force, we can conclude many more things, and we can come to the many more conclusions. The first conclusion is that if it depends on Q, here the force is depending on Q, means force on a negative charge is opposite to that on a positive charge. So if we have a proton and if we have an electron, we know that proton has how much charge? That is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and same charge lies on the electron. But the polarity is different. Proton has a positive charge, this amount of positive charge, and electron has this amount of negative charge. So the force will be just opposite in these two cases. Okay, the force exerted by the magnetic field on an electron is just opposite to that of the proton. Second conclusion is that if V is 0, means charge is at rest, that is static charge, then FB will be 0. I have already told you that if the velocity, if the charge is not moving, charge is stationary, then magnetic field will not exert any force on this charge. Only moving charges feels magnetic force. That is very important point. Third point is, if theta, that is the angle between V and B, is 0 degree, then we can conclude from here that if theta is 0 degree, then sine 0 is 0. So force will become 0. Means if the charge, if the velocity of the charge is along the magnetic field, let us suppose the magnetic field is in this direction and charge is also moving in the same direction, then there will be no force exerted by the magnetic field on this moving charge. Also, if the charge is moving anti-parallel to the magnetic field, if let us suppose if magnetic field is in this direction and charge is moving in just opposite direction, that is making 180-degree angle with the magnetic field, then also the force exerted by the magnetic field on the moving charge will be 0. Another conclusion is that the direction of magnetic force is perpendicular to both V and B, since this is a cross product. So the direction of magnetic force will always be perpendicular to both V and B. It doesn't matter whether these two are perpendicular or not, but the force, this force exerted by the magnetic field will be always perpendicular to both magnetic field as well as velocity of the moving charge. And the direction of this force is given by right hand rule. We will further discuss in our problems that how to apply this right hand rule. Now let us make a note. Since F is equal to QV cross V, QVB sin theta n cap, if theta is 90, that is the velocity of the charge is perpendicular to that of the magnetic field. Let us suppose if magnetic field is in this direction and charge is moving perpendicular to magnetic field, then angle is 90 degree. In this case, the magnetic field will exert a maximum force on the charge. And how much amount of this force? This amount of force is exerted. That is this amount of force, sorry. F is equal to Q VV. Now from here we can conclude that B is equal to F by QV, and from here we can calculate the SI unit of magnetic field. Since F is nothing but the Newton, the unit of force is nothing but the Newton. Here charge unit is coulomb and velocity's unit is meter per second. So second will come upside. This is the SI unit of magnetic field. In short, this is represented by a symbol T, that is known as Tesla. So Tesla is the SI unit of magnetic field. Tesla in general is a very big unit. So generally we uses a smaller unit than that of the Tesla, and this smaller unit is known as Gauss. It is not SI unit. Keep it in your mind. Tesla is the SI unit of magnetic field, but Gauss is not the SI unit of magnetic field. And 1 Gauss is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla. This is very another important point. Now coming to the another point, that is Lorentz force. So what is this force? So Lorentz force basically is nothing but it is the vector sum of both electric field as well as magnetic field. This force, Lorentz force, is represented by FL vector. And here, since we know that the electric force is nothing but the Q and electric field plus magnetic force, we have discussed already, that is Q V cross B. If I take Q common from here, so I will get electric field plus V cross B. This is your Lorentz force. Lorentz force is the nothing but the vector sum of both electric field and magnetic field. So this was all about for today. You have to keep all these points in your mind because these are very important points. So let's see you in the next video. Thank you.